Let me talk to you the way I talk to someone who's been pushing their setup harder than their network can handle. Because the ROG Rapture GT-BE98 Pro is built for a very specific kind of person, someone who refuses to let lag, buffering, or old hardware dictate the pace of their day. Someone who knows exactly how much time they've wasted on weak connections and is finally done pretending it's fine. Before anything else, check the current price and stock. This router goes in and out faster than you'd expect. You know that moment when you're in the middle of a match, or a massive download, or a live stream, and everything just stutters. You feel that tiny flash of frustration because you know it's not your PC or your console, it's the bottleneck you keep putting up with. That's the moment you realize you're past the point of compromise. You've simply outgrown basic Wi-Fi. And when you switch to the Rapture GT-BE98 Pro, that feeling vanishes in an instant. You don't realize how much stress your connection added to your daily routine until it's gone. Everything feels smoother, sharper, more responsive. Your games breathe. Your downloads fly. Your entire home network feels like it finally stepped into the same decade as the rest of your gear. Daily life changes in the quiet moments. Large updates that used to take forever finish while you're making coffee. Multiple devices in your home stop fighting for bandwidth. Streaming feels like you're watching offline content. Even mobile gaming starts to feel cleaner because the network finally keeps up with you instead of dragging behind. If you're hearing this while it's still available, take a second and look at the price. This model jumps without warning. And yeah, you might be questioning whether you really need something this powerful. Most people do. But here's the reality. Once you've lived with a router designed at this level, you can't convince yourself to go back. Every cheaper option feels like settling for slowdowns you don't have the patience for anymore. The surprise for me was how consistent the connection stayed when the entire house was pulling on it. High bitrate streaming, cloud backups, gaming, downloads, all happening at once, and the network didn't even flinch. That stability feels like a luxury you should have given yourself sooner. There's a quiet sense of pride when you walk by it. Not because it looks intense, though it does, but because you know your connection is finally built to match the rest of your tech. It feels like stepping into the version of your setup you always imagined. Everything feels faster, everything feels cleaner, everything feels more stable, your games feel more responsive, your whole home feels upgraded. The only real downside is that once you get used to this level of speed, anything slower feels unbearable. And you might end up reorganizing your devices just to make full use of what it can do. But here's the point you eventually reach: you stop comparing. You stop waiting for the perfect deal. You stop convincing yourself that maybe next month is the better move. You choose the router you already knew was right the moment you heard its name. If this feels like your upgrade, check the link, see the current price, and lock it in while it's still in stock. This is one of those decisions that makes everything in your setup feel instantly better.